करने से पहले जिन लोगों ने हमें सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है वो प्लीज सब्सक्राइब कर लें।
नमस्कार, आप देख रहे हैं करंट कैप्सूल्स एपिसोड 40 और आपके साथ मैं हूं भावना। स्वागत करती हूं आपका डिस्कवरी आईएएस के इस बाइलिंगुअल डिस्कशन प्रोग्राम में। आज के डिस्कशन के लिए हम डिस्कस करेंगे 26 से 29 नवंबर के बीच में जो भी इम्पोर्टेंट अकरिंग्स रही, न्यूज आर्टिकल्स रहे या जो भी कुछ महत्वपूर्ण घटित हुआ उनके बारे में। तो आइए बिना देरी किए आज के डिस्कशन को शुरू करते हैं। हमेशा की तरह जो आर्टिकल्स हैं उनको हमने दो हिस्सों में बांटा है, मेंस और प्रीलिम्स। कुछ आर्टिकल्स जो ज्यादा जरूरी हैं, एनालिटिक है बाय नेचर, उनको हमने मेंस के लिए लिया है और अगेन कुछ इंफॉर्मेटिव आर्टिकल्स को हमने प्रीलिम्स के लिए रखा है। जो आर्टिकल मेंस के लिए लिए गए हैं उनमें जो पहला आर्टिकल है वो बात करता है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ड्राफ्टिंग के बारे में। अब इस आर्टिकल को क्यों लिया गया है तो इसके बारे में बात करते हैं। हाल में ही 26 नवंबर को हमने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन डे के रूप में सेलिब्रेट किया। इस दिन को नेशनल लॉ डे के रूप में भी सेलिब्रेट किया जाता है एंड इट इज टू कोमेमोरेट द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन डे एंड द कंट्रीब्यूशन which was important while drafting the constitution. Now in the same context, our President Draupadi Murmu and our Prime Minister Modi ji has lauded women's role in drafting constitution. तो आज इस आर्टिकल में हम बात करेंगे स्त्रियों के योगदान के बारे में जिन्होंने हमारे संविधान के निर्माण में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाई। दूसरे आर्टिकल पढ़ाते हैं तो इसके हेडिंग को पढ़ते हैं। Industry urges government to establish India Rare Earth Mission to reduce reliance on China. यहाँ पे हम मिनरल रिसोर्सेज के बारे में तो बात करेंगे ही, साथ में हम स्पेसिफिकली रेयर अर्थ मिशन को डिस्कस करेंगे। इसके कॉन्टेक्स्ट के बारे में अगर हम बात करें तो इसका कॉन्टेक्स्ट कुछ इस तरह से है कि प्राइवेट इंस्टीट्यूशंस जो है या जो प्राइवेट कंपनीज है उनको यहाँ पे ओनरशिप देने की बात की जा रही है माइनिंग के सेक्टर में, ताकि जो हमारा मिनरल रिसोर्स है उनको ठीक तरह से जो है रिकॉग्निशन मिल सके और इसके साथ ही जो रिलायंस है हमारा चाइना के ऊपर उसको रिड्यूस किया जा सके। आगे बढ़ते हैं तीसरे आर्टिकल की तरफ। तो तीसरे आर्टिकल में हम राइजिंग पॉपुलेशन के इशू को डिस्कस करेंगे एंड अलॉन्ग विद दैट वी विल टॉक अबाउट how important and why is it important to depopulate. Now reading the heading of this article, it reads, it's time to discuss depopulation. Now moving forward to the prelim series, we have two articles. The first article talks about blue bugging. Now you must be thinking about what is blue bugging. So it's a pattern of hacking which will be discussed through this article. Coming to the second article, it talks about running businesses on cloud. Cloud computing से related जो issues हैं उसको हम इस आर्टिकल में डिस्कस करेंगे। साथ में देखेंगे कि क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग को लेकर जो फ्यूचर फैसेट्स और पैटर्न्स हैं वो क्या क्या हैं। आइए बिना देरी किए आज के पहले आर्टिकल से जो है हम शुरुआत करते हैं। पहला आर्टिकल जो है उसका हेडिंग रीड करता है, मुर्मू मोदी लॉर्ड विमेन्स रोल इन ड्राफ्टिंग कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। सिलेबस रिलेशन की बात करें तो अगेन जो हमारा संविधान है, इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, आपकी पॉलिटी का बहुत महत्वपूर्ण हिस्सा जो है वो रहा है। मेंस के लिए आपको समझना है कि स्त्रियों का योगदान किस प्रकार रहा है संविधान के निर्माण या उसके ड्राफ्टिंग में। प्रीलिम्स के लिए कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन डे के इम्पोर्टेंस को समझना बहुत जरूरी है। इससे जो है क्वेश्चंस पूछे गए हैं आपके पहले प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशंस में। कॉन्टेक्स्ट इस आर्टिकल का ये है कि 26 नवंबर को कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन डे जो है मनाया गया है। आइए डिटेल्स को देखते हैं। द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन डे सेलिब्रेशन वाज ऑर्गेनाइज्ड बाय द सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया एंड विद दिस प्रेसिडेंट द्रौपदी मुर्मू एंड प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी अटेंडेड द सेलिब्रेशन। They lauded the role of women in the Constituent Assembly that drafted the Constitution. November 26th is observed as Constitution Day. Now, this was the day on which the Constituent Assembly adopted the Constitution in year 1949. इसके साथ ही this day has been celebrated as Constitution Day since 2015. और इसके पहले 2015 के पहले इसको हम लॉ डे के रूप में मनाते थे। President Draupadi Murmu urged the executive, judiciary, and legislature to evolve an effective dispute resolution mechanism and mitigate the common man's plight. और इसी इवेंट के दौरान चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया highlighted the significance of technology in justice and administration. He further stressed that the need to have more representational form of marginalized community in the legal profession is important. Now with this, there was a special focus and highlight on the role of women while drafting the constitution. Along with this, Constituent Assembly had 15 women members. Dakshiani Velayudhan belonged to a marginalized community and made important interventions for protecting the right of oppressed classes. Other women members include Durgabai Deshmukh, Hansa Mehta, Rajkumari Amrit Kaur, etc. So these were the women who played a very important part while drafting of the constitution. So with this, we are moving towards the next article of the day that reads, Industries urges government to establish India Rare Earth Mission, and that is to reduce reliance on China. Syllabus relation की बात करें तो this article specifically relates to the issues relating to mineral resources and means के लिए rare earth minerals कौन-कौन से हैं उसको समझना जरूरी है. आइए details को देखते हैं. Now the industries in India have urged the government to allow private sector mining of critical rare earth minerals. Why? This is because this whole initiative would help in diversifying the source of supply of these strategic raw minerals. Moreover, it would counter India's reliance on imports from China. Now in the series, the Confederation of Indian Industries CII has suggested establishing an India Rare Earth Mission on the lines of Indian Semiconductor Mission. The exploration of these minerals should be made a critical component of the Deep Ocean Mission Plan. CII ने यहाँ पे ये भी suggest किया कि इस तरह के जो mineral है, they should not be held captivated. And with this, it has also talked about the captivation to civil nuclear program of India and should instead split Indian Rare Earth Limited into two entities. तो यहाँ पे IREL जो कि Rare Earth Limited है, Indian Rare Earth Limited है, इसको दो हिस्सों में बांटने की बात कही जा रही है. So IREL should focus on thorium mining, जबकि जो इसका second entity है, जो इसका divisive entity है, it should focus on other minerals. Furthermore, यहाँ पे ये भी stress किया गया कि जो rare earth minerals हैं, they should be made a part of Make in India on the lines of Made in China 2025 initiative of China. Also, यहाँ पे नोट किया जाना चाहिए कि ये जो initiative है, it is focusing on new materials that include permanent magnets. Now, permanent magnets are also something which are made up of rare earth minerals. बैकग्राउंड डिटेल को अगर थोड़ा सा समझें तो इंडिया की अगर बात करें तो इंडिया हैज 6% ऑफ वर्ल्ड्स रेयर अर्थ रिजर्व्स. हाउएवर 6% जो है हमारे पास रेयर अर्थ रिजर्व होने के बाद भी जो हम प्रोड्यूस कर पा रहे हैं वो केवल 1% है ग्लोबल आउटपुट का, और इसके अलावा जो बाकी हमारी ज़रूरतें हैं उसको हम चाइना से इंपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. तो जो ये रेयर अर्थ मिशन की बात की गई है, जहाँ पे हमने प्राइवेट एंटिटीज़ को अलाउ करने की बात की माइनिंग के सेक्टर में, इसके साथ ही हमने IREL के स्प्लिट की बात की, ये इसी चाइना के ऊपर जो हमारा रिलायंस है, जो हमारी निर्भरता है, उसको कम करने के लिए कही गई. तो 92% of rare earth metal imports by value and 97% by quantity were sourced from China in year 2018 and 19. और अब ये जो डेटा है जो हमने 2018-19 का देखा, ये बढ़ता ही गया है और फिलहाल ये बढ़ रहा है. तो ये जो रिलायंस है ये हमारी इकोनॉमी के लिए बहुत अच्छा साबित नहीं होगा, और जिस वजह से इसको रिड्यूस करने की बात यहाँ पे कही जा रही है. So this was it about this article where we discussed rare earth mineral mission, and with this we will be moving forward to the next article, जहाँ पे हम बात करेंगे आज डीपॉपुलेशन के बारे में. सिलेबस रिलेशन की बात करें तो दिस आर्टिकल रिलेट्स टू पॉपुलेशन एंड द इश्यूज रिलेटेड टू इट. Mains के लिए we need to understand depopulation and associated challenges. Talking about the context, world population reached 8 billion and the threat of depopulation in certain parts of India. Talking about the details, India is set to surpass China as world's most populous country by 2020. Now, if we talk about China's population, so it has started to decline, whereas India's population is expected to grow further over the next 40 years. However, certain parts of India are facing the threat of depopulation and there is a complete lack of preparedness to deal with it. Talking about the background details, the world's population is expected to grow until 2086. According to the United Nations estimate, the population of India will begin to decline in 2063, which is again very far, and it would have reached around 1.7 billion by that time. This has raised alarmist calls for family size restrictions. And on the other hand, countries are experiencing falling fertility rates and are reaching the inflection point of population decline, like Japan and South Korea are deliberating on reversing the trend. Talking about some key aspects that are usually missed while discussing depopulation are equitable sharing of housework, subsidy childcare accessibility that allows women to have both family and career, lowered immigration barriers to working age people from countries that have not begun with population decline. Now, these were certain factors that need to be talked about when we talk about depopulation. Now, let us see the issue of fertility in India. Due to rising income levels and increased female access to education and healthcare, fertility rates in India are falling along with the expected lines. Talking about the total fertility rate of India, it has reached below the replacement rate of fertility. Moreover, in some parts, there are below the replacement rate and it is for a longer time that are at the cusp of real declines. इसका एक इंस्टेंस देखें तो केरला और तमिलनाडु का केस एक बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है. In Kerala and Tamil Nadu, the population reached the replacement rate of fertility in 1998 and 2000 respectively. Furthermore, even if we talk about states with a relatively higher fertility, several cities have been at or below the replacement rate for almost a decade. According to the National Family Health Survey, India's urban fertility rate in year 2019-21 was 1.6, and this places India next to the United Kingdom. Also, it is expected that Tamil Nadu and Kerala will see their first absolute decline in the working age population in the next 4 years. और इसके साथ ही यहाँ पे ये नोट किया जाना ज़रूरी है कि जो median Tamilians हैं, the median Tamilian was 10 years older than the median Bihari in 2011. So this will be separated by over 12 years in 2036, where the median Tamilian will be above 40 years. And what does this imply? This implies that the working age population of future will skew northwards. Also, as per 2011 data, both states, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, had negatively net migration rates. This means that they sent out more migrants than they received. अब इस पूरे skewed rate of migration या फिर जो depopulation का issue है, उससे associated challenges क्या-क्या हैं, आइए उनको समझते हैं. सबसे पहला चैलेंज है skewed sex ratio. According to the latest round of NFHS, families with at least one son are less likely to want more children than families with just one daughter. Education is another factor. Here there is a stark difference between northern and southern India in basic literacy and higher education. This includes technical education as well. And this implies that workers from the southern states are not replaceable. The next thing is sharp anti-Muslim tone. Even though fertility rates between Hindus and Muslims are converging, here there is a very sharp anti-Muslim tone in population conversion. So this is another factor that can lead to, skewed rates of migration, and apart from that, the issue of depopulation can be get worsened by this. So this is it about this article, and with this we are moving towards the next article, which is from the prelim series, and it reads blue bugging. So talking about the syllabus relation, it relates to your GS paper 3 science and technology. The specific part that it covers is cyber attacks. Now talking about blue bugging, so it is a form of hacking that lets attackers access a device through its discoverable Bluetooth connection. So once a device or phone is blue bugged, a hacker can listen to the calls, read and send messages, and steal and modify contacts. Blue bugging attacks work by exploiting Bluetooth enabled devices. So once a connection is established, hacker can use the brute force attacks to bypass authentication. They can install malware in the compromised device to gain unauthorized access to it. और एक बार जब आपका डिवाइस हैक हो जाता है, तो जो अटैकर है, he or she can make and listen to calls, read and send messages, modify and steal your contacts. So any Bluetooth enabled device, including wireless earbuds, are susceptible to such hacks. Blue bugging can happen whenever a Bluetooth enabled device is within a 10-meter radius of the hacker. And with this, hackers can also use booster antennas to widen the attack range. So apps that enable users to connect to their TWS, which is true wireless stereo devices, or earbuds, can record such conversation. आइए समझते हैं कि ब्लू बगिंग के इशू को प्रिवेंट कैसे किया जाए. So turning off Bluetooth, disconnecting paired Bluetooth devices when not in use should be the first thing that you must do. Limited use of public Wi-Fi, updating the device's system software to the latest version, using VPN as additional security messages, and monitoring of data uses for sudden spikes should be some of the measures that you can do to prevent yourself from blue bugging. Now moving forward to the next article, which talks about running business on cloud. In short, it talks about the idea of cloud computing. So let us understand cloud computing. Cloud computing is the one-demand ability of computer system resources that includes both hardware and operating system, especially data storage and computing power without direct active management of the user. Now, large clouds often have functions distributed over multiple locations, and each location being a data center. To here, provide quick response, especially while customers are present in multiple geographies. It is prudent to host the cloud in multiple locations, and this is called edge computing. Talking about the cloud computing furthermore, it has two vital technologies. The first technology it uses is virtualization. Now, what is virtualization? So, virtualization lets computer resources be shared through multiple virtual machines. And network is another thing that lets data requests flow to and from the data center or the cloud through the internet. Apart from that, there are public clouds, private clouds, and hybrid clouds. In public cloud system, the same data center and network circulates are used by multiple customers, while in private clouds, system geographically distributes the hardware and they are cordoned off virtually, such that the computing resources are allocated only to one customer. Next comes the hybrid cloud. So in a hybrid cloud, the extremely vital private information is stored in the private cloud, while less critical data is stored in the public cloud. Talking about the importance of cloud computing helps achieve economies of scale. Now, this can help in reducing capital expenses, and apart from that, cloud computing offers more computing power and more choices of software as per as your demand. So this was it about cloud computing, where we learned about the private, public and hybrid cloud, importance of cloud computing and how it is used and employed. So this is it for today's discussion. We'll meet again in the next class. Till then, thank you and goodbye.